morning and welcome back to the Scrummy Cooking Kitchen. So today I'm going to make some stuffed mushrooms. This is what we're going to be having for our dinner, so I thought I'd just show you how I make them. This is quite often a way that I use up some veg that is perhaps, I haven't got a lot of it left, or it's going a little bit soft. And this is a really good way of just using it. You can put basically anything you like in it. I don't necessarily always use a set recipe for this. It's just I kind of make it up as I go along. But I'm going to show you how I do that. So I'm going to be using my little Tefal Mini Pro today to chop things up. You could chop them by hand. It's entirely up to you. If you don't have a food processor, you could use a large food processor. But I'm going to do it as I go and kind of mix it as I go. So let's get going. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some bread into my machine and make it breadcrumby. So I've just got some old bread. This is a low carb bread that I made, but obviously you can use any bread that you've got. Depending on what vegetables you're using will depend on how much bread you need. I'd say you'd need at least a couple of slices, and the older they are the better, or just using like the ends of the bread, the crusts. But if you think about it, so mushrooms, I'm putting mushrooms, courgette, celery, they all kind of release their water, and I want the bread to soak it up. So I'd say, you need at least two, but if you've got watery vegetables, then you probably need a little bit more. I hope that makes sense. And I've got a cheese scone that I made a few days ago, so that's kind of past its best, and so I'm just going to pop that in as well. That's almost crumbling on its own. Okay, I've got quite a lot in there. Let's see if this works. So, loud noise coming up. Oh. I do love this machine. It's the 6 blades, I think, that help. Right, so I'm just going to pop that into a bowl. This is where I find out I haven't really got a large enough bowl, but never mind. Okay, so next thing I'm going to put in here is some mushrooms. Now what I've got is I've got the stalks that I took out of these. Plus I've got about 4 mushrooms, so I'll just pop these in. I've actually got 5 mushrooms. Never mind. Close enough. It's going to come out quite a lot of mixture. But I like a stuffed mushroom to be stuffed, not just a tiny little flat bit on the top. Okay. Mix that in a little bit. So I'm going to mix this as I go. Do you know what? While it's still quite easy to mix, I am going to add a teaspoon of vegetable stock powder. I really like this one. It is this Marigold Swiss vegetable bouillon. There we go. I'm going to add a teaspoon of dried oregano. The reason I'm using that is because I haven't got a lot of fresh herbs in, and being in lockdown, I'm only going out when I absolutely have to, so I'm not going out just to get some herbs to put in this when I've got stuff in the cupboard. So I'm just going to put a dollop of mustard in. All these things are optional. It's entirely up to you. Okay, let's just mix that in slightly. Get that one out of the way. Okay, next. I'm going to put a little bit of smoked bacon lardons in there, just because I have them and they need to be finished up. You don't have to put this in, you can make it completely vegetarian if you want to, but as I say, these need using up and I do not want to throw anything away. So, let's just whiz these up so they're a bit smaller and put the lid on. I'm going to leave that in, and I'm going to add my parmesan in there. This will take a bit to break it down. So I've got here about 45 grams of parmesan. It's just a little block. You can use any cheese, doesn't really matter. I think parmesan gives it a really good flavour. I'm just going to cut it slightly so it doesn't kind of overwhelm the machine. Kind of mixes in together with the bacon. Right, let's get that in. Move that out of the way and give that just a little bit of a stir. Okay, next I've got an onion. It was a small onion. It's only red because the white onions I had were really large, so I just used a small red one, and I've got 1 stick of celery. I'll put in here as well some basil. I had some basil that was on its last legs, and I managed to salvage some of it. So that's gone in. There's actually also a clove of garlic in there. And do you know how I remember? Because I can smell it. Okay, one last thing, and that is I've got a piece of courgette. This is about half the courgette that I had. It's quite a thick one. But as I say, put in whatever you like. You could add peppers, carrots, you could do it completely vegetarian, you could put broccoli, spinach, whatever you like in there. Play around with it. And I'm just going to do that a tiny bit more. Right, so doing it in the mixer obviously makes everything so much quicker. If I was chopping all that by hand, that would have taken me a little while. But this is a cracking little machine. Okay, so let's just mix that in. I'm going to get in there with my fingers, I think. Right, let's move that out of the way. I no longer need this. I do want some salt and pepper. Not too much salt because I've got cheese in there, I've got bacon in there. It's already going to be salty from that. So just a little sprinkling of salt and some pepper. That probably seems like it's more than it is, but it isn't actually that much. There we go. Right, so let's just give it a little bit of a stir. And now I'm going to get in there with my fingers. Some people put an egg in to bind it. I don't bother. It's already quite, can you see, it's quite, with all the liquid from the vegetables, it's already quite soggy, so I don't think an egg is really that necessary. So let's put it on the top. Now I don't need to worry about it staying just in the top of the mushroom. If it goes over the sides, that's fine. It will go crispy in the bottom of the pan and that will just be nice to eat. I don't really want to waste any of this. There we go. I'm just going to show you that. There we are. How good do they look already? Let's move them out of the way. And then I'm going to slice some cheese to go on the top. Now I could grate this, but I can't be bothered. So I'm just going to take some slices and lay them over the top. They'll still melt, do the job. I'm going to put these in the oven at 180 and I'm going to put them in for at least half an hour. After half an hour I'm going to check them and see how they're doing. So I'll see you back here in a little while once these are cooked and you can see how delicious they look. Alright, see you soon. Hello, welcome back. So I've just taken the stuffed mushrooms out of the oven and I'll just hold them up so you can see them. There, they look delicious. They smell amazing. Can't wait to try them. There we have it. So if you've liked this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please, I'd love you to do so. Any comments, just put them in the comments below. I'll try and get the stuff that I've put into my recipe into the description. If you want to have notifications as to when my next video is coming and you've subscribed to my channel, please hit the notification bell and I will see you in my next video. Have a great day. See ya. Bye.